It is the year 2009. The bustling halls of DragonCon are filled with pop culture enthusiasts. But in one particular room, paranormal researcher Fiona Broom uncovers something deeply unsettling. During a casual conversation, she discovers that she and multiple strangers share a highly specific, vividly detailed memory of an event that fundamentally conflicts with documented reality. They all remember Nelson Mandela, the iconic South African anti-apartheid revolutionary, dying in a prison cell in the 1980s. They remember the television broadcasts. They remember the international mourning. They even remember his widow, Winnie Mandela, delivering a heartbreaking, televised funeral speech. But there is a massive problem with this collective recollection. Nelson Mandela is still alive. In fact, he would not pass away until December 5th, 2013, peacefully at his home in Johannesburg, decades after his release from prison. Broom coined a term for this jarring phenomenon: the Mandela effect. It represents one of the most compelling and terrifying intersections of cognitive psychology, internet culture, and quantum fringe theory in modern history. How can vast populations of completely unrelated individuals share the exact same incorrect memory down to the smallest granular detail? The realization triggers widespread cognitive dissonance, an uncanny valley of the mind where foundational truths are suddenly upended. As we embark on this investigation, we must ask ourselves a terrifying question. Are our minds simply playing tricks on us, or is the fabric of our reality far less stable than we ever dared to imagine? The phenomenon simmered in the background until August 2012, when a single blog post titled "The Berenstain Bears Problem" ignited a viral firestorm. The post mathematically and philosophically questioned a foundational childhood memory for millions of Americans. A generation grew up reading books and watching VHS tapes of a beloved bear family. Ask anyone from that era, and they will tell you with absolute certainty that it was spelled Berenstein, Berenstain. Yet, pulling a dusty, yellowed VHS tape from a damp basement box and looking closely at the label reveals an impossible truth. It is, and supposedly always has been, spelled Berenstein, Berenstain. This revelation moved the effect from fringe paranormal circles into mainstream internet culture, triggering a unique psychological vertigo. It is a distinct, cold prickle at the base of the neck. And the anomalies kept piling up. Millions vividly remember a woven brown wicker cornucopia spilling over with apples and grapes in the iconic Fruit of the Loom logo. According to the company, that cornucopia never existed. Think of the famous Monopoly man, Rich Uncle Pennybags. Picture him in his classic top hat, holding his cane. Does he have a monocle over his eye? Countless people swear he does, yet in reality, he has never worn one. These aren't just isolated mistakes. They are mass-shared delusions overriding the physical objects of our past. It forces us to confront a terrifying proposition. What if the artifacts of our youth are quietly changing behind our backs?
Perhaps the most baffling of all these collective false memories centers around a movie that physically does not exist. Transport your mind back to the mid-1990s, the era of low-budget family comedies, neon windbreakers, and Friday night trips to the local Blockbuster video. thousands of people across the globe hold a vivid, unshakable memory of renting a movie titled Shazaam. The plot is universally remembered. An incompetent but lovable genie helps two children navigate the struggles of their single parents' romantic life. The star of this non-existent film? The popular 90s stand-up comedian Sinbad, dressed in a vibrant purple and gold genie costume complete with a turban. The memory is so pervasive that in December 2016, Sinbad, whose real name is David Adkins, had to publicly address the mass delusion. He vehemently denied the movie's existence, expressing a bewildered frustration mixed with amusement at the relentless online inquiries. Skeptics point to a logical convergence of events. In 1996, NBA star Shaquille O'Neal starred in a very real, similarly themed genie movie called Kazam. Furthermore, in 1994, Sinbad hosted a televised afternoon marathon of Sinbad the Sailor movies on TNT while dressed in Middle Eastern garb. Did the collective consciousness simply smash these two cultural moments together? Thousands completely reject this explanation, swearing on their lives that they watched Shazam years before Kazam ever hit theaters, recalling the exact layout of the VHS cover on the rental shelf. Who do we believe? The documented record or the masses? To unravel this global mystery, we must first consult the academic bedrock of cognitive psychology. Enter Dr. Elizabeth Loftus, a pioneering expert on human memory and the architect of the misinformation effect. The scientific consensus robustly roots the Mandela effect in the reconstructive, rather than reproductive, nature of human memory. Our brains do not record events like a video camera storing files on a hard drive. Instead, memory is highly malleable, easily corrupted by suggestion, and subject to what psychologists call source monitoring errors and confabulation. When we encounter a gap in our recollection, our brain seamlessly fabricates a logical detail to bridge the divide, often without our conscious awareness. This brings us to schema theory, which perfectly explains the fruit of the loom anomaly. When an American pictures a pile of harvest fruit, their cultural schema immediately associates it with the Thanksgiving holiday, which is deeply linked to the image of a cornucopia. The brain simply autocorrects the memory to fit the established cultural pattern. Similarly, the Monopoly Man is conflated with Mr. Peanut, another dapper, top-hat-wearing corporate mascot who actually does wear a monocle. Old Halloween costumes of rich Uncle Pennybags frequently included monocles, showing how deeply this false memory penetrated physical manufacturing and reinforced the collective error. While this psychological paradigm provides a comforting, rational explanation for these discrepancies, it fails to satisfy the pervasive digital subculture that feels the eerie specificity of these memories point to something much darker. Rejecting the psychological explanations as woefully inadequate to explain the microscopic exactness of these shared memories, fringe theorists have constructed an elaborate framework rooted in quantum mechanics. They lean heavily on the many worlds interpretation, suggesting that human consciousness can occasionally slide between adjacent parallel universes, leaving behind psychological residue of an old reality. This brings us to the shadowy realm of simulation theory, prefaced by French sociologist Jean Baudrillard's concepts of hyperreality. If the universe is essentially a massive, complex simulacrum, a digital construct, then the Mandela effect represents a literal glitch in the rendering, a bug left behind after a cosmic software update. This theory gained explosive viral traction between 2015 and 2016, coinciding perfectly with a massive scientific milestone in Switzerland. The European Organization for Nuclear Research, universally known as CERN, successfully restarted the Large Hadron Collider for Run 2, smashing subatomic particles together at unprecedented record-breaking energy levels. Concurrently, online communities dedicated to the Mandela effect experienced exponential growth. Theorists synthesized these two seemingly unrelated events, positing a terrifying hypothesis. The LHC's high-energy particle collisions inadvertently shattered the boundaries of our space-time continuum, violently merging adjacent quantum timelines. Under this paradigm, you aren't misremembering the Berenstain Bears or Nelson Mandela's tragic death in the 1980s. You actually experienced those events in a parallel timeline, and you have simply been deposited into a new, slightly altered reality where those historical facts never occurred. It is a reality shift of terrifying proportions. If
our reality has indeed been overwritten, whether by psychological contagion or quantum timeline manipulation, we must search for the leftover fragments. In the digital lore of the Mandela effect, these fragments are known as residue, and some of them defy all logical explanation. Let us return to the fruit of the loom cornucopia. Deep internet sleuths unearthed a canceled 1974 trademark application by the clothing company. The official legal document, under design search codes, explicitly lists baskets, bowls, and cornucopias in its design description. How could a legal trademark describe an object that the company insists was never there? Furthermore, in 1973, jazz musician Frank Wess released an album titled Flute of the Loom. The cover art is a brilliant, direct parody of the Fruit of the Loom logo, prominently featuring a massive brown cornucopia.
Well, it certainly opened my
The artist
eyes to the
himself
realities
noted
of
that he
political
modeled
power.
his painting directly on the brand's logo. This is an impossible act of artistic replication if the original logo never contained the woven basket. These obscure facts and anomalies linger like ghosts in the machine of our collective history. As you stare into the cold blue glow of your screen tonight, ask yourself what you truly know. The Mandela effect forces us to question our absolute ontological security. It challenges the bedrock of truth, suggesting that the past is not written in stone, but rather drawn in the shifting sands of human memory, or perhaps the fluid codes of another reality.